ako ng ating meeting. And then, I will share my screen. Today, we will talk about lighting. Okay, we will talk about lighting. Kasi, after starting from the third exercise, gagamit na kayo ng ilaw. Yung due today yata, if I'm not mistaken, yung due today ay yung storyboard ng The Chase. So, yung kailangan kong gawin is check ko yung storyboard ng The Chase, tapos next week, due yung The Chase video. And then after that, diretso na tayo sa exercise 3. Last meeting, yung huli kong pinakita, kung titingnan ninyo yung recording, is a sample of The Chase. Para magawa niyo yung storyboard. Parang, oh, ito dapat yung itsura ng video, more or less, ito yung example ng The Chase. Para makagawa kayo ng storyboard. So, yun. So, sana makagawa kayo ng storyboard. Dito sa October 3 module, sabihin nyo kung hindi nyo nakikita yung screen ko, kasi shinare ko na. Bubuksan ko na siya para makita ninyo ang laman. Yan. So, nandito yung lahat ng lectures and videos about na pertaining to light. Okay, yun muna pag-usapan natin today. And dito sa part na to, nakalagay assignments due on October 10. Nandito ang The Chase Dropbox na video na yung link. Huwag kayo mag-upload ng video sa Big Sky kasi babagal ng sobra. I-upload nyo siya sa YouTube as unlisted. Tapos yan yung link ang isa-send nyo sa akin nung unlisted video na yun. Pag unlisted naman, hindi naman siya public. Kung sino lang ang may link, siya lang ang makakita. I also discovered dun sa recording ng last week's lecture, blinak ng Fox yung ibang parts ng video. I-check ko pa kung ano yung blinak niya. Kasi yung samples ko doon, samples ng movies, di ba? Blinak niya. Hindi ko alam kung anong gagawin kong solusyon. At saka, actually, I'm surprised na blinak considering na unlisted yung video. Hindi naman siya public. Tapos nan, furthermore, it's an educational video. Parang, pag educational kasi yung video, kunyari ginagamit siya as an example in class. Merong ano tayo may fair use license tayo. They're not supposed to be blocking it because pag education yung reason, yun nga, legal yung paggamit ng clip. So, tingnan natin kung anong magagawa ko about it. Pero kung hindi, baka gumawa na lang ako ng OneDrive folder. Doon ako maglalagay ng mga recording natin. Tapos isi-share ko sa inyo. So far, itong last recording lang naman itong last week lang naman yung blinak. Parang yung first naman, parang hindi. Yung first two, hindi ko pa nakikitaan na blinak siya. So yun. Hindi ako pwedeng mag-share sa Google Drive kasi we're limited by the 20 gig space. And mabilis maubos yung 20 gigs na yon. So ang hirap talaga mag-share sa Google Drive. So ginagawa ko, doon ako sa OneDrive nag-share kasi hanggang 1 terabyte yung free doon. Yan. So yun, dito sa assignment June October 10, the Chase Video Project 2 Dropbox, and may instructions dito na diniscuss ko na rin naman yung instructions dun sa lecture video last week. And then yung recording natin ng session na to, dito ko ilalagay mamaya. Hopefully, hindi tayo ma-block ulit. Okay? So, ito yung first PowerPoint. We are borrowing it from Miss Lai again. Kahit na old yung date, ito pa rin naman yung gamit niya hanggang ngayon. And generally, pare-pareho naman talaga kami ng tinuturo. Kasi dapat pare-pareho, dapat same yung instructions between instructors. So, ito yung, ayan, today's topics. Nakalista dito yung topics. Pero let's get into it already. Kasi marami na namang tabs ang nakabukas and naaabutin na naman tayong pagkatagal-tagal. So, yung responsibility, sinasabi ko lang sa inyo na yung responsibility ng lighting director or ng director of photography ay, number one, bukod sa pag-shoot, siya rin yung bahala mag-ilaw. Okay? Yung lighting ay part of the visual narrative design. Of course, pwede tayong mag-shoot ng walang ilaw, pero aesthetically, sana wag. Kasi pangpatotoo siya at saka pangpaganda. Ito nga, may nakalagay dito, nakasulat, painting with light. Kasi kagaya ko ngayon, o tingnan nyo yung ilaw ko ngayon, wala, this is the normal light in my room that you can see right now. Pero pwede nating dramahan to. 'Di ba? Pwede nating dramahan to. Um, yung footage na nakikita nyo of me right now could be like 10 times better kung nakailaw ako ng mabuti. Yan. Kung magpe-paint tayo with light or magkakaroon ng notan, which means light and shade. Now, uses of light. There are 4 uses of light. Pang-illuminate, pang-paliwanag ng eksena. Minsan kasi, kung ano yung liwanag ng eksena, depende yun sa shutter speed and sa f-stop ng camera, ng setting ninyo. So, tricky yan tricky. Kasi kunwari outdoor, yung sky maliwanag, hindi nyo pwedeng sunugin yung sky by opening up the iris of your camera. Yung sky maliwanag pero yung talent ninyo hindi. Oh. Kung liliwanagan ninyo yung talent ninyo using the settings of the camera, sobra namang liwanag nung sky. Kasi, mga dear, there is no light source that is brighter than the sun or the sky. The sun or the sky being illuminated by the sun, is the brightest light source ever. So, yon. So, if you want to maintain na blue ang sky with white clouds, kung gusto nyong makita yon, malamang kailangan ninyo ilawan yung talent ninyo na nasa baba, na mas madilim kaysa sa sky. So, illumination. Nagtataka kayo siguro minsan may nakikita kayong outdoor shoots. Ano pa kaya yung iniilawan nila? Ang liwaliwanag na. That's because yung talent madilim. Lalo na kung backlit. Kunyari sa bay natin, sa Manila Bay natin ginawa dyan sa Rojas Boulevard. Kunwari yung talent ninyo nakatayo dyan sa breakwater tapos yung background niya tubig at saka sky. Madilim talaga yung mukha nun kasi yung likod maliwanag. So iilawan mo talaga yung tao. So illumination, pangpaliwanag. Kung indoors naman, same thing. Diba? Same thing. Minsan madilim sa loob, illuminate natin, pampaliwanag. And mood. Okay, mood. Malaki ang ginagawa ng ilaw para sa mood. Okay. Kunwari, yung mood malungkot. Siguro makakatulong dyan yung medyo, di ba ang pangit pag malungkot tapos ang liwanag ng kwarto? Okay, di ba mas may drama siguro? Kunyari, medyo madilim, tapos medyo dim yung lights, tapos may umiiyak sa kama. As opposed to, may umiiyak sa kama, tapos ang liwanag ng buong kwarto. So yun, pangtulong siya sa mood. Yan. Pag nanonood kayo ng sine, tapos inisip ninyo itong illumination and mood na to, I'm sure mapapansin niyo yan. For most part, when we watch movies, we just take everything in. We don't think about individual elements of a shot. Yun. Pero if you take time to think about lighting, madidiscover ninyo na ang laki ng tinutulong ng lighting dun sa mood ng eksena. To guide our attention. What does this mean? Kunwari may kalye na may street lamps na nakailaw through the street. And dun sa malayo, sa ilalim ng isang street lamp, merong may naglalakad na babae tapos may magnanakaw. Dahil dun sa ilaw na nakatapat sa taas nila, nalilid yung direction natin dun. Diba? Or sabihin na nating sideways. May buong street. May buong street. Dahil sa nakatapat na ilaw dun sa isang spot, tapos may eksenang nangyayari sa spot na yon. doon nalilid yung attention natin. Kahit sabihin mong marami pang naglalakad dito sa gilid-gilid or maraming nakaupo, maraming nakatambay, kunwari park siya. Kung nasa ng ilaw, dun ka nakatingin eh. Kahit na nga hindi street lamp eh. Pag inisip niyo, kunwari, alam mo maganda, may billboard na maliwanag. Di ba? May isang eksena ka, dun sa isang part may billboard na maliwanag. Hindi ba dun ka mapapatingin sa spot kung kung nasaan yung billboard na yon? Kahit nga sabihin mong walang eksena dun eh, nililid niya yung attention mo dun sa billboard. And then, cut. Kunyari billboard ng ano yon, billboard ng some product on top of a building. Kunwari. Yun pala may nangyayari dun sa building. Diba? Next shot, nandun na tayo sa loob ng isang unit sa building. Or pwede rin sa rooftop. Nakita pa rin yung billboard, yung paanan or bottom part ng billboard. So yun, to guide our attention. Nanonood tayo ng eksenas, yung ilaw ang tumutulong sa atin para malaman natin kung saan tayo titingin. At malaman natin unconsciously. Diba? Hindi naman tayo nag-iisip na, nandun ang ilaw, tingin tayo doon. Hindi na natin iniisip yan, tumitingin na lang tayo doon, diba? And then texture and shape. Nade-define ng iba't ibang texture and shapes dahil sa ilaw. Nakakatulong siya sa texture ng shot and sa mga shapes na nandun sa loob nito. Merong dalawang types of shadows. There are attached shadows and cast shadows. Nandito may arrow yung mga attached shadow. So sa taong to, yung ilaw malamang galing dito sa side na to, 'di ba? Papunta sa kanya, yung nasa likod ng tao, attached shadow. Nakakabit siya sa tao. Madilim sa likod niya. Okay? Kasi may ilaw dun sa kabilang side na nagpapaliwanag nung harap niya. And then, you've got the cast shadow na nagfo-fall sa sahig. Siguro yung ilaw medyo mataas yung angulo. So, pag tama niya dun sa subject, yung ilaw magfo-fall dito sa baba, sa sahig. Okay? So, they're attached and cast shadows. Now, ito. The quality of light. May tatlong example dito. You've got hard light. An example ng hard light would be this shot. Tingnan niyo yung mga tao dito. Siguro feeling ko noon sun ito. Okay? Galing sa taas ang ilaw, noon sun, and tingnan niyo, clearly defined shadows, light, and dark areas. So yung mga shadows, masyadong defined. Korteng-korte sila. Kitang-kita mo kasi ang hard ng light galing sa taas. And then you've got soft, diffused illumination, soft shadows, indirect, indistinct lighting. Ito yung example nun, yung gitna. Okay? So ayan, yung mga shadow nasa wall, very soft. Diba? Hindi siya gaya nito na, wow, napaka-harsh. And yes, you've got harsh lighting. Harsh lighting naman. Ito naman, hindi mo kita yung shadow. Dito kasi yung harsh yung shadow dahil sa harsh light. Dito naman, hindi mo makikita yung shadow. Meron kang artificial light dito sa taas. And then, nako-contrast lang yung light and dark images because you are currently signed in on another device. Hello, are you there? I'm not signed in on another device. Can you see me?
Yes po, miss.
Okay, ba't ako sinasign, inaano dito? Nakikita nyo, di ba?
Yes, miss. Kita rin po yung...
Ay, naka-sign in pa naman ako eh. End meeting for all. No, 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 no. Bahala ka sa buhay mo. Basta nakikita pa ako ng estudyante ko. I-chat niyo ako kung hindi niyo na ako nakikita. Hindi ko alam kung anong nangyayari. Okay? So, you've got the harsh, extreme difference between light and dark. And true enough, tingnan niyo tong light na to na tumatama sa guy na to. Dito, maliwanag siya. Pero yung likod niya and everything else madilim. Tapos naka-black pa siya. So, kitang-kita mo yung contrast. Okay? Now, direction. Hindi lahat ng direction examples nandito. Pero medyo maiintindihan nyo naman, it's very literal. Frontal light, example ng frontal light. It could be this and this. Si Harry Potter, frontal light. Tingnan nyo si Harry Potter, may ilaw yan somewhere eh. Kasi, feeling ko side front ito. Pwedeng side, kasi dito sa kabila niya madilim. Diba? And dito sa taas niya madilim. And dito rin sa ilalim ng baba madilim. Pero dito maliwanag. So pwedeng front side ito. Ito naman top, obviously top. Okay? Ito naman, well, depende. Pero tingin ko dito, under. Bakit? Hindi ko lang alam kung under siya for this guy ha. Kasi parang pandak na bata to eh. So kung ito yung ilaw, frontal yan sa kanya. Pero for these two, na matangkad, it's under. Tingnan nyo yung ilalim ng baba nila. Yung leeg. Maliwanag, di ba? Yan yung parang nananakot kapag Halloween, maglalagay ka ng flashlight sa ilalim ng baba mo. Ayan, under. Okay? And actually, under is very good kung ayaw mong mapansin yung double chin mo. Kasi nililiwanagan niya. So, imbis na may shadow dyan ng double chin, nawawala yung double chin mo. So, yun, medyo self-explanatory naman tong mga to kahit hindi lahat may example dito sa pictures. And kung gusto niyo tumingin kayo online, I'm sure may makikita kayo doon. Now, source, artificial or natural? Ito yung sinasabi ko kaninang artificial light. Lahat ito artificial. Kasi galing sa ilaw na nandun sa set or sa ilaw na malamang tinayo sa set. Okay? Pero itong example na to, itong hard light na to, malamang yan? Natural. Natural sun yan sa labas. Okay? Actually, pag naarawan ka, hindi mo na, kunwari, okay na yung light galing sa taas, galing sa sun. And nai-illuminate na lang mabuti yung subject mo. Yung, kunyari, wala kang kalaban na cloud sa likod. Nakikita lang sa likod mo, pader or something. Hindi mo na actually kailangan magdagdag. Baka okay na yun. Unless may drama kang gustong mangyari sa lighting mo to change the mood and stuff like that. Kasi kunwari, beach, may sun. O ano ba naman mag-shoot ka ng ng tao sa beach, dun sa buhangin, di ba? Nakikita yung dagat against palm trees, tapos may sun. Pwede naman, di ba? Pero mas may drama ang shot kung may leaves. Kung may leaves na dumadaan sa harap ng light. So baka pwedeng kahit may sun doon, maglagay ka ng ng palm leaf sa taas ng talent mo. Kung wala. Kung hindi kayo makapwesto or kunyari, walang dahon na maganda. Ayun. So, likod niya, may mga trunk ng palm trees. And then, yung taas niya, lalagyan nyo ng isang dahon ng coconut tree or something. So, may linya-linya na lumalabas dun sa taas ng tao. Di ba mas may drama? So, yun yung mga pwedeng gawin. Kahit natural light, pwede nyo lagyan ng drama. Just as yung artificial light, ganun din, pwede nyo rin lagyan ng drama. So, natural is sky and sun and basta walang nakasaksak, natural. Outdoors is natural. Okay? Pero oras na magdagdag na kayo ng iba pang ilaw, artificial na yung ilaw na yan. Whether or not may kuryente siya or wala. Marami ng battery operated, marami ng rechargeable. Lahat yan artificial. And then you've got color. There is apparent color. Color as observed by human eyes. And color temperature. So yung apparent color, nandiyan yan sa color ng mga gamit dun sa loob ng scene. Nakikita nyo yung totoong kulay ng mga bagay-bagay. Pero kasi, merong tinatawag na color temperature. Where yung mga kulay ng mga bagay-bagay pwede pang mag-iba. Okay? So you've got tungsten, daylight, and fluorescent. Ito yung mga pinaka-common na color temperatures. And sometimes, kaya ito ng mga ilaw sa school. May mga settings sila para maayos ninyo yung Kelvin ng mga ilaw na pang-shoot ninyo. So yung tungsten ay 3,600 Kelvin ang usual value nun. May mga dial sa likod yung ibang ilaw. Pwede nyo i-adjust yan. And then daylight is 5,600 Kelvin. And then the fluorescent lights are 5,400 Kelvin. Okay? So yun, this is the color based on equivalent temperature against a black background. Hello? Is there anybody there? Okay, minumumu yata ako. Parang may gumaganon sa doorknob. Hello, mag-isa lang ako dito sa bahay. Anyway, wala, baka hangin lang. Kasi mahangin yata sa labas. And then, yung pinaka-normal lighting setup is the 3-point lighting setup. It's the most, sabihin nyo kung may makita kayo sa likod ko ha. Anyway, it's the most basic, internet is unstable. Gumagalaw pa ba ako, guys?
Miss, kanina po nag-freeze pero okay na po ngayon.
Okay. 3-point lighting is the most basic professional lighting setup. It incorporates essential light, sources, and directions, allows for expansion and experimentation, provides the foundation for setups that may include 4 up to 100 lights. So pag magsisimula kayo ng mag-ilaw, dun kayo lagi magsimula sa 3. And from those 3, tsaka ka lang kayo magdagdag ng magdagdag. Totoo tong 100 lights. Example, restaurant na may candlelight dinner. Yan. So kada mesa may candle. Diba? Pero we all know, pag nag-shooting na tayo, each candle on the table will not illuminate the people sitting on the table. So in reality, bawat candle, may pin light na kasama yan. Okay? Na malamang, it's either, well, malabong galing sa taas. Kasi usually, yung kandila nasa mesa, di ba? Hindi naman galing sa taas. So weird yon pag galing sa taas. So meron kang pin light na pang shooting, may mga dedo lights na ganyan kaliit na pwede mong i-dim kada isa. So magdi 3-point lighting setup ka siguro somewhere, siguro dun sa singer sa tabi ng piano. And then kada mesa lalagyan mo ng dedo light na yon na may dimmer. Somewhere. Siguro dun sa side na hindi kita ng camera. So kunwari nandito si nagpa-piano and singer, nandito ang camera mo, nandito yung mga mesa mo sa gitna. So siguro sa likod ng kada mesa nandun yung dedo light. Na medyo ini-illuminate lang niya yung mga couple na nakaupo sa tables. 'Di ba? So yon. So kung ilan yung mesa, ganun kadami yung dedo light. And you can probably imagine the cables on the floor. So yes, posible yung 100 lights na yan. Baka nga 2 lights pa per table eh. Kasi yung isa, iniilawan mo, yung isang tao, yung isa iniilawan mo yung nandun sa opposite side. So yun, example lang. In real life, there is usually only 1 or 2 light sources. 3-point lighting creates illusion of reality for the camera. Why? Because if you've got only 2, flat yung likod. So, minsan, yung backlight, nakakatulong siya sa paghiwalay, pag-angat ng mga subjects from whatever background they have. Okay. So, the key light, 3 ilaw dyan. Key light, fill light, and backlight sa 3-point lighting setup. Yung key light is the main source ng light. So, siya yung malamang pinakamaliwanag. Usually, nasa taas siya. Galing siya sa taas. Hindi siya nakatapat na katapat ng talent. Okay, usually galing siya sa taas. Kasi yung mahirap diyan, tapos bandang 1 o'clock. So kung ako yung talent, ito bandang 1 o'clock ko. Or pwede rin dito, bandang 11 o'clock, pwede rin. Okay? Yan, itong magkabilang dulo, yan yung pwede sa key light. Tapos galing sa taas. Kasi kung hindi galing sa taas, magkaka-shadow ako sa background ko. Ayaw natin nun. Yun yung pinaka-iniiwasan natin. As much as, wait, sorry, may sakit ako. As much as possible, the shadow should fall on the floor. And you can only achieve shadows on the floor pag nakataas yung light. Okay? So, ayan nakasulat. It's the brightest light source. Striking a subject from the camera's viewpoint. It's the hard quality light. Okay? It provides good modeling or texture of subject when placed 30 or 40 degrees away from the camera subject axis. 30 or yun. Kaya siya nasa 1 or nasa Kaya siya nasa 1, 130, 1030, 11 angle because of this 40 degrees, 30 or 40 degrees away from the subject na nalalaman. Okay? Wait guys, hindi ako makahinga. Kukuha lang ako ng tubig, ha? Wait lang. Sorry. Wait lang. Okay. Kumuha lang ako ng tubig sa ref. Kasi hindi ako makahinga. Hinihingal ako. Tumatahol yung aso ko sa labas mag-isa. Bakit kaya? Yan, may mumu. Hindi ako naniniwala sa mumu actually. Pero pag may mga ganyan, syempre mag-wonder ka, ano bang nangyayari? Mag-isa ako dito sa bahay. Tapos bakit tumatahol yung aso from out of the blue? But then again, matanda na yung dog na yan eh. Feeling ko nagkakalimot na. As in minsan tumatahol siya talaga from out of the blue na hindi namin alam kung bakit. And then hindi nakakatulong yung aso ni Mommy kasi yung aso ni Mommy, may ugali yan sumisilip sa bintana. So pag nakikita sa bintana nung aso ko, yan tatahol. Yan. The higher the position, the longer the shadows. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina. Flat presentation light, same height as camera. Yon, magiging masyadong flat kung kunyari ito yung camera na nakatingin sa akin tapos yung light katapat niya. So kailangan din talaga mas mataas. Okay, para may depth ng konti yung shot na kinukunan ng camera. Mysterious, light is placed lower than camera. Kung ito yung camera, ito yung ilaw, na nasa harap ko, ako yung talent ha, kung pag ano naman, feeling horror. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na mysterious, ayan. Diba? Kahit naman yata sino, pag nagbaba ng ilaw, lower than the camera, and even lower than the talent, medyo scary lighting. Pero, not really scary all the time. Tingnan nyo tong example na to. Mas mababa yung ilaw. Yung likod ng ulo dito sa taas, mas madilim. Hindi ba mysterious? Not necessarily nakakatakot naman. Pero ayan, maganda naman ang pagkagawa nitong isang shot na to. Now, the fill light is the secondary source of light. Ito yung nilalagay mo sa kabilang side nung key light. Not kabila as in opposite side. Medyo pag so kunwari yung key light ko nandito, yung fill light ko malamang nandito. Kasi ang ini-illuminate nito yung taas ko at saka ito. So yung mangyayari, yung tendency, itong part na to magiging madilim. Diba? Pero kung ayaw mong dumilim yung part na to and gusto mong makita pa rin, yung fill light ang gagamitin ninyo. Itong fill light na to, maganda kung may dimmer. Okay? Maganda kung may dimmer. It provides general illumination to the set. Pwede, oo. And then it helps fill in. Ayan, ito yung sinasabi ko. Fill in some of the shadows created by the dapat key ito. created by the key light and reduce contrast between light and shadow areas. So kung ayaw nyo ng ganitong effect, siguro dapat may fill light dito galing sa side na to para ma-illuminate ng konti yung side na to, di ba? So, determine significant emotion and mood, usually on the opposite side of the camera from the key light. Yun nga, pag ganon. Pero siguro banda dito sa harap. Kasi kung i-opposite mo talaga, parang na rin siyang backlight. Backlight na yung inilawan mo dito. So, banda dito. Yan. So, ito yung mga examples ng mga shots na may fill light. Ito, tingnan natin tong shot na to sa taas. Mataas yung araw eh. So, doon ang gagaling yung main light. So, yung mga ilalim nila, yung mga front nila, actually madidilim. Malamang may fill light yan dito sa bandang harap para hindi madilim yung mga tao. Ito, ito mali to begin with. Kita yung fill light dito, nagre-reflect. Nagre-reflect dito sa shower thing, sa bakal. Ayun pa oh. So, hindi ko alam kung bakit ginamit ni Miss La yung example na to. Pero parang, things like this na may hotspot, hindi dapat nangyayari yan. Ito naman, iba yung drama ng fill light. Kasi obviously, the light is in front. So, kita tong dalawang to. Pero merong fill dun naman sa likod para makita yung likod. So, the fill light is not on the talent, pero it's actually on something else at the back. Okay? Yun. Now, the third kind of light in a three-point lighting setup is a backlight. Ito yan. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina para ma-separate yung subjects dun sa likod niya. Ayan o, separation light. 1 or 2 separation lights that complete the 3-point lighting triangle or 4-point rectangle. Kasi minsan, 4. Usually placed above and behind the subject to create a halo effect. Ayan, kagaya nitong subject na to. Ayan o, may backlight siya. Diba? Ito, dito naman sa example na to, well, the backlight is not on the talent. Rather, it's on the wall. Here is a natural backlight. Because hindi naman sila nagdagdag ng backlight. They just opened the window. Pero yung nangyari dito, madilim naman ang talent. Hindi makita yung harap. So, baka kailangan ng key light. Okay? Strong backlight creates a bright halo effect. Ayan, ito yung halo effect na sinasabi nila. So, may backlight dito sa taas ko. Okay? Ngayon, wala akong halo effect kasi wala akong backlight. Pero kung lalagyan mo ako ng backlight galing sa taas, sa likod ko, actually, hindi nga taas eh. Pwedeng directly sa likod ko. Yung hindi siya makikita ng camera, pero nakatutok yung ilaw sa likod ko, magkaka-outline ako dito. Okay? Sa ulo, sa arms. And then you've got the kicker. So, may 3-point lighting setup ka. Minsan, nagiging 4 siya. Kasi nagdadagdag ka ng kicker. Ano yung kicker? It's the fourth light. It functions similar to the backlight, directed from the back side of the subject, usually opposite facing the key light. Yan. From the back and side of the subject. O yun. So kung yung ilaw ninyo, wala dun sa background, nandun nga talaga siya sa subject, and ang tawag doon ay kicker. So pwedeng hindi directly sa likod ko. Pwedeng back side. Okay? Back side. So ang pwedeng mangyari is, merong fill light. Okay? Merong fill light. Merong key light dito sa harap ko. Merong fill light dito sa left side ko para ma-fill in yung shadows dito. Pwedeng magkaroon ng backlight na hindi sa akin nakatutok, pero nakatutok sa background. And then, pwede kang magka-kicker na sa akin nakatutok para may outline ako dito. Now, kung baliktarin ninyo, yung backlight, kunwari ang nakatutok sa akin from here, And yung kicker, siguro ang nakatutok sa background. Kasi si kicker, usually mas mahina yan kasi sa backlight eh. And si kicker ang nakaturo sa background para maghiwalay, pwede rin yun. Okay, pwede rin yun. And you've got, yan, background lights for backgrounder set. Ito na yung sinasabi ko kanina. Inunahan ko yung presentation. Cast patterns can be used to break up space, give it modeling and texture. Okay, so we're done with the first PowerPoint. Are there any questions, guys?
None so far.
Gian, okay ka lang? Nandyan ka pa ba? Gian, namimiss ko na boses mo. O baka wala kang mic. Anyway, sige, moving on. This is the second presentation. It's going to talk about lighting ratios. Okay? Ito na yung mga, actually, ito rin yung mga mahina, malakas na sinasabi ko kanina. Yung proportion ng key to fill light spills over into the key light area and increases the intensity. Yun, tinutulungan niya. Tinutulungan niya yung intensity ng light na nasa subject. Okay? Usually, back and key lights should have approximately the same intensity. Ito, I don't agree with this. Na pareho ng intensity at saka yung key at saka back. Sa akin talaga, mas okay yung mas mahina yung back. Kasi kung magkasing lakas sila, parang less drama. That's for me. Pero pwedeng magkasing lakas as it says na pwedeng 1:1 or 1:1.5. Pero ako, I don't agree. Doon ako sa mas mahina. The weak backlight doesn't separate the subject from the background. It depends. It depends. Kasi the mere fact na magkakaroon ng halo ang subject mo, dun pa lang naghiwalay na siya eh. So kung ang backlight mo mas mahina, pero mas malapit sa subject mo, pwede mangyari pa rin ang paghihiwalay. Sigurado ako doon, don't worry. Okay? Sigurado ako doon. Kasi ako ganun ako mag-ilaw lagi pag may backlight. Mahina lang pero malapit. Hindi ko na nilalayuan. Mahina pero malapit. Kung hindi ko maitago, dun ko lang siya nilalayo para lumabas siya ng frame ng camera. Pero as long as hindi naman siya kita sa frame ng camera, nilalapit ko siya as much as possible. Pero medyo mahina, una para hindi mainitan yung talent ko at pangalawa, yung ano ko lang naman, yung drama ko lang naman magkaroon ng halo, di ba? So pag na-achieve ko na yon and nakikita na siya sa sa camera, okay na yun sa akin. Unless yung purpose ko is ibang drama. Kunwari, nasa stadium, may sports lights na malalakas. Kunyari, nasa boxing arena or nasa wrestling na arena rin na tayong tawag doon. O nawala si Gian. Hello? Nandyan ka pa, Carl?
Yes po, miss.
O, ba't nawala yung mga otter?
I have no idea rin po.
Anyway, si Gian nawala na. Anyway, si Gian naka-otter kanina, di ba? Anyway, so yon. Nawala tuloy ako kasi nawala yung mga tao. Tsaka yung mga otter. So, kung yung intention mo talaga bright lights or strong halo effect, kasi nga nandun ka sa scene kung saan totoo namang harsh yung mga ilaw, kagaya ng mga stadium and mga sports arena, paggabi, ganon. Diba yung mga WWE, yung mga ilaw, galing kasi sa taas eh, tapos 'di ba? Pag nagre-wrestling na sila, minsan nakatalikod, minsan nakaharap, minsan nagsiserve as backlight. Hindi naman sila talaga nilagay doon para mag-backlight. Talagang lighting lang sila ng stage. Pero minsan, nagkaka-halo effect yung mga wrestlers, di ba? So, yun. Low key to fill ratio produces high key lighting, casts no shadows for maximum illumination of set. Okay? So, yung key to fill ratio produces high key lighting, casts, yun, walang shadows na kinakast, Kasi yung fill, baka malakas rin, pinapatay na niya lahat ng shadows. Or baka ganito, high to key fill ratio or the minimal use of fill. Ayan. Okay. Akala ko pinapantay niya. Apparently not. O, kasi ito pala yung example. I'm sorry. Malulost ako sa terms ni Miss Lai. So sinasabi dito, low-key lighting used in film noir. Minimal use of fill lights. So, minimal use of film lights. So, ito yung nangyayari. Ayan o, maliwanag, tapos may madilim na part. Of course, this is like illustrations. Ito, may, yung key niya, obviously galing sa taas. Hindi ko alam kung ano yung ilaw na yan, kung street light or whatever. Pero kasi yung mga street light nila, ang bababa eh. So, malamang hindi yan street light. Hindi ko alam kung ano yan. Baka helicopter or... Pero dito, madilim. Same ito, ayan, may mga light sa taas, nai-illuminate siya, pero yung baba nila, wala na, madilim. Sa character na to, ganun din, yung light malamang galing dito, nai-illuminate siya dito sa kabilang side, madilim. Ito, ganun din. Okay? Parang yung nandito sa side na to, kasi maliwanag na lahat eh. Except yung mga dito sa gilid at saka yung papunta dito, feeling ko. So kung nagtatrack yung shot na to, nang papaganon, papalayo, naglalakad yung talent, gumaganon sila. Baka kasi dito madilim na eh, sa pupuntahang area ng talent. And then you've got chiaroscuro, which means play of light and shadow, literally means dark face. So ayan, hindi mo nakita yung kabilang side kasi wala na ngang fill. Hindi na naglagay ng fill. Key light na lang. Diba? Pero meron siyang backlight. Kasi yung umuusok niyang likod, at saka ayan, meron siyang halo. Oh. So meron siyang backlight at may light dun sa likod na kicker para sa background. Pero wala siyang fill. Hindi mo nakita yung side na to. Now, this is a redhead. This is the basic light that is usually used for shooting. It's 800 or 1,000 watts. So it's very strong and very hot. Okay? People do not like using this light because it makes the set hot. And it's very hot. Hindi mo mahawakan halos. Napakahirap. You need gloves. Pero kasi, the LED lights available for shooting will never be as strong as this light. So you need a strong light. You can use the redhead. There are other tungsten lights for shooting that are much stronger than the redhead. Maliit lang yan, mga ganyan lang yan. Okay? Pag binuksan mo yung doors, lumalapad. Siguro yung bilog niyan sa gitna, mga 6 inches wide yung diameter. Okay? Yun lang siya. There are lots of other bigger lights. We don't have them in school because we don't imagine that students will be able to bring them out. There are 4K lights na ganyan kalaki. Literally, ayan, ganyan talaga kalaki. Pag nagpunta kayo sa totoong set, na makikita kayong mga ganito kalaking ilaw. And meron pang bat signal. Mukha siyang bat signal. Alam niyo yung mga ilaw, yung mga strobe lights na yung gumaganon-ganon sa clouds. Tapos nakikita niyo, kunyari may event, may strobe na ilaw na gumaganyan-ganyan, abot hanggang clouds. Hindi siya yung actually light na pang shoot. Pang event naman talaga yon. Pero merong equivalent yon na ganun kalakas. Pang illuminate ng whole fields or big areas. Okay? Kunyari, may nagpa-party sa outdoor party or beach or whatever. Pang illuminate ng ubod ng lalaking areas. Yun yung ginagamit. And kailangan mo na ng truck. Pag magre-rent ka ng ganon, kailangan mo na ng truck. Hindi mo nakakayaning buhatin yan. Pero in school, we have this redhead light. So the parts of the light which are the same with the bigger lights are as follows. You've got the head casing. Yung casing ng ilaw mismo, yung nilalagyan niya. Ano yung nangyari? Anyway. And then you've got the reflector control. Ito. Yung loob kasi ng ilaw na yan, silver. Tapos may reflector control. Yung silver sa loob nitong ilaw na to, tumutulong siya sa pag-spread ng ilaw. So, pwede mo siyang i-concentrate sa isang place. Pwede mo naman siyang laparan. Itong knob na to, wala, ano lang yan, counterclockwise or clockwise. Pag ginanon mo, it's either lalaki siya or liliit, and vice versa dun sa kabilang side. Okay? And yung ilaw mo, kunwari ito yung ilaw mo, lalapad siya at saka liliit. Ganyan lang. Very limited yung control mo actually. So, kailangan mo minsan ng tulong ng barn doors. So, kunwari, pinaliit mo yung ilaw, malaki pa rin. Yung barn doors na yung isasara mo. Isara mo yung barn doors para mas maliit yung ilaw. Okay? Yan yung silbi ng barn doors. And then you've got the riser locks. Kasi yung light stand, hindi lang naman ito yung light niyan. Actually, mataas yan. Okay? Mataas yan. Pwede yan umabot ng past 10 feet. Okay? Kada isang ganito, 1, 2. Tapos, ayan, meron pa sa baba. Siguro mga tig 5 feet yan pag pataas. Okay? And ito yung switch ng ilaw. Yung switch ng ilaw, may kable papunta sa ilaw. Ito yung switch. Para pag mataas na yung ilaw, abot mo pa rin yung switch. Kaya siya nandyan. Nakalaylay siya bale from the light. And then you've got the spreader. Itong legs, ang tawag dyan, spreader. Why? Actually, yung tayo ng ilaw na to medyo mali. Kasi hindi siya nakaspread ng mabuti. Ayan o, mas mababa sa gitna. Dapat level yan. Tapos nakaspread siya at the farthest point. Para nakaspread yung legs at the farthest points. Para hindi siya, pag nag-wobble yung ilaw, dahil sa hangin or kung ano man, ideally, hindi siya matumba. Kasi nakaspread ng mabuti yung legs niya. And dapat, yung legs niya, merong sandbags. Ano ang sandbag? Literal, supot na may buhangin. Okay? Yung supot na may buhangin, kada isang paa, lagyan mo para hindi dumulas-dulas or para mas stable siya. Yan. Kasi, tingnan nyo ang payat-payat. Gaganyan-ganyan yan. Oo, nag-wobble siya. Nag-wobble siya. Nakakatakot minsan. Okay? Pero kung may weight sa paa, mas less yung chance para matumba siya. So yon, dapat wide and dapat may weight na sandbag. Merong sandbag sa equipment center that you can borrow. Kaya lang limited yata. Parang 2 lang per light ang pwede. Pero anyway, I don't know, better meron kaysa wala. And then you've got the accessory holder and lock. Dito kasi, ayan, dito sa part na to, hindi nyo nakikita. Okay? Hindi nyo nakikita. Ay, nasan ba? O, hindi ko rin nakikita. O, ito pala, sorry. Ano ba yan? Dapat nandito yan. Bakit nandito yung arrow? Hindi ko naintindihan. Kasi ganito yan, guys. Kwento ko na lang sa inyo. Pwede kayong maglagay ng accessories dito para sa harap nyo ilalagay yung accessory tapos ipipin nyo siya dito. May clip dyan at saka sa taas at saka sa baba. And then, or dito. Dito kasi may mga ganun eh. Tapos yan, minsan may accessories na bilog, pwede nyong ipasok. Parang filter. Yan. So, pwedeng dito yan or pwedeng dito may lock. Na hindi ko mapakita kasi masyadong layo. Tilt lock. Ito. Ito yan actually. Dito, may parang lock sa side ng red head na nakakabit sa light stand. Yung ilaw mo, ito yung lock, pwede mong luwagan, i-tilt up or i-tilt down mo yung ilaw, pwede. Hindi lang pwede side to side. Pero up and down pwede. Pag masaya ka na sa angulo ng ilaw mo, i-lock mo na. And then you've got the neck. Ito yung neck na yon. Because this whole assembly, dito yan nakakabit sa light stand. Hindi naman doon eh. So itong buong assembly na to, itong bar na to, si neck, nakakabit sa ilaw yan. And dito lang siya kinakabit sa light stand. And you've got the neck clamp. Yun, dun siya kinakabit. Gumaganon siya. Shook! Tapos dyan mo ilalock. And then the power cord. Okay, may video mamaya tungkol sa redhead. Ayan, meron naman palang ganito. Walang ya. Okay. Ayan o, barn door clip. Ito yung sinasabi ko, dyan mo pwedeng ikabit yung accessory. Or filters, or what do you call this? Gels. Yan, may clip na ganyan. And then yung reflector, ito yung sinasabi kong silver sa loob. Okay? Merong protective screen para hindi basta-basta may lumipad or may maaksidente papasok ng ilaw. Kasi nga it can get very hot. And pag may kunyari, may papel na pumunta dyan or may plastic na pumunta dyan, baka masunog, matunaw, patay tayo. Okay? And the bulb is right there in the middle. Okay. So ito, white balance. Kailangan yung camera ninyo with a white balance sa ninyo. Dapat tinuro sa inyo to sa MD photo or basta dun sa photography class ninyo kung tungsten, daylight, or custom. I'm sure tinuro sa inyo dapat yung custom, wherein ito, may instructions dito. Get a clean white sheet of paper or white towel or white shirt. Find the white balance selector and set it to the custom white balance settings habang nakatutok yung camera nyo dun sa white na paper, towel, or shirt. Okay? And then, mangyayari dyan, magbi-blink, blink, blink yan. After it stops blinking, yon, kuha na niya yung ilaw dun sa kwarto. Yung mare-record nyo, bale, is the actual light in the room. At hindi siya mag-yellow or magbo-blue. Kasi daylight setting is usually parang nagbo-bluish, parang nagmamali yung mga kulay. And then tungsten naman, nagiging parang yellow. Okay? So, yon. So, custom ang dapat na setting ng white balance ninyo. Ayan, ito na yung mga temperature, mga Kelvin ng bawat setting. Sinasabi lang ni Miss Lai kung ano sila. And ito na yung mga samples of lighting accessories. You've got gels, reflector paper, diffusers. Itong white na to, nagdi-diffuse ng ilaw. It makes your shadows softer. So, kunwari ako, hindi ko na makuha. Paano ba to? Try natin. O kunwari, itong ilaw na to. Ay, ayan o, may shadow ako. May shadow ako dito. So, kung gusto kong mag-soften yung shadow na to sa wall, maglalagay ako ng diffuser sa ilaw na to. Tapos magiging mas soft, magiging mas soft yung shadows ko sa wall ko. Yun yung trabaho ng diffuser. Kaya lang wala akong diffuser, so hindi ko mapapakita sa inyo. Pero meron tayo niyan sa equipment center pag nanghiram kayo. And reflector paper, ganito. Minsan, ginagamit ko siya as fill light. Kung imbis na magtayo ako ng ilaw dito sa kabilang side ng key light, naglalagay ako ng reflector. Diba? Diba sinabi ko naman sa inyo, okay lang sa akin ang mas mahina. Para lang ma-fill siya. Kasi yung mangyayari, yung light ng key light, magre-reflect dun sa reflector, magbabounce papunta sa akin. Okay? So ayan, silver yan or gold. Depende. Hindi ko alam kung anong nandun sa school ngayon, pero meron din yan dapat. And you've got colored gels, red, green, midnight blue. Meron dong purple, may yellow, may green. Ayun, sinabi ko na pala yung green. Merong neutral density filters, which are the black ones. The black ones have different percent na nakakabit na thickness. Siyempre, yung mas manipis na black, sila yung mas sila yung mas see-through. Okay? So, yung kina-cut down niya na light, mas maliit kesa pag yung makapalang ginamit mo. Pang cut down din siya ng light. Kung hindi talaga makuha na, kunyari, masyado pa rin maliwanag kahit nagsara ka na ng barn door, or kunyari, ganito, hindi ka pwedeng magsara ng barn door. Kasi, yung idea mo sa light, dapat nakaspread sa kwarto. Kunwari. So, alanganin, weird naman. Ba't ka magsasara ng barn door? Gusto mo nga nakakalat sa buong kwarto yung ilaw. Pero masyadong maliwanag. Ang solusyon mo para padilimin siya ng slight is neutral density filter. Okay? So, and then you've got the full city blue tungsten to daylight conversion gel. Ano to? Kulay blue siya. Yung ilaw mo, tungsten yellow. Pero ang kailangan mo, daylight. So, yung ilaw mo, lalagyan mo na itong blue gel na to. Yung ilaw na lalabas sa kanya, imbis na yellow, magiging daylight na light. Magiging white. And then you've got the city orange daylight to tungsten conversion gel. So, balik rin naman natin. Let's say you've got white light. Let's say you've got an LED light na white lang ang nilalabas niya. Wala siya nung setting para maging tungsten. Yung sinasabi ko kanina, may dial sa likod. Merong ilaw na wala nung dial na yon. Na white lang talaga nilalabas niya. Pero kung kailangan mo ng yellow light, ito ang gagamitin mo. Itong orange. Okay? Hindi ako makahinga. Next. Scream. 2 densities available. A scream is actually a screen. Okay? Para siyang screen na hindi siya screen na parang mosquito net. Hindi, kasi yun, masusunog yun. Hindi siya plastic. Screen siya na, yung screen ng, parang siyang screen ng bahay, pero mas matibay. And kaya ganun yung material niya. Kasi ayan, ito yung mga sinasabi kong mga bilog na ilalagay mong ganon. Pwede mong ilagay ng ganon sa redhead. Ayun o, tingnan nyo tong isa. Yung gitna niya medyo sunog na. Ayun. May dalawang intensity na available. Yung mas concentrated, na mas malapit yung mga wire. I don't know what it's called, yung mga wire. Yung mas dense. Yun yung mas madilim, obviously. And then ito, na mas malayo yung wires from each other, sila yung mas maliwanag. Pero yun, pwede rin yung mga yan. I don't know lang kung yung mga ganyan sa school buhay pa, sana they are. But if they're not, you can use any of the gels. Okay? By the way, yung isa pang use ng orange gel is for sunsets. Kunyari, the sunsets are very fast. Okay? So, kung magsa-sunset scene kayo, sana maikli lang. Kasi they're really very fast. Mabilis masyado magpalit yung ilaw during that time. So, yung pwede nyong gawin actually is meron kayong backup light na may orange gel para mamimik yung ilaw ng sunset. And actually, meron din kami pang sunrise na yellow. May light yellow kami na mukha namang sunrise. Meron din doon sa equipment center. Sorry. So yun, pwedeng mangyari yun. Pwede nyong gawin yun. Pero, my advice is, kung mahaba rin lang yung eksena, iwasan nyo na yung sunrise and sunset. Kasi, lalo na pag may nagkakamali or kung maraming takes, dumidilim kasi yung clouds or lumiliwanag masyado. Hindi nyo kontrolado yung araw. So unless sigurado kayo na matatapos kayo, by the time magbago yung lighting setup ng buong lugar, huwag nyo na gawin. Naalala nyo yung sa Star Wars? Yung mga Ewok na nandun, nakaupo sa tabi ng bahay? Nag-start out sila na nakaupo sila sa shade. Tapos yan, tanghali na, ang taas na ng sikat ng araw, nandun pa rin sila nakaupo sa shade. Nagbago na yung lighting nung buong eksena. So mali na, di ba? And then you've got the Matthews Scream/Flag Survival Kit. This is really a big box, as big as you, or siguro hanggang shoulder nyo. Hindi naman siguro, baka matangkad kayo. Hanggang shoulder ko, na malaking kahon. And yung laman niya, itong lahat. Okay? And siguro kagaya ng palm leaf na example ko earlier, na kunyari nasa beach, tapos may mga palm trees sa likod, and then baka pwede niyong gawin, imbis na yung sun nakadiretso sa talent ninyo, maglagay kayo ng palm leaf sa taas niya. Diba? Para mag-cast ng lines or ng shadows dun sa taas ng talent ninyo para mas may drama. Itong kit na to, ito yung laman niya, may iba't ibang klaseng flag na pwede ninyong gamitin. An example would be these two. Ayan, may stripes. So, kunwari, gusto nyo i-make bintana na may blinds. O, ayan o, ganda, di ba? Pero wala ka namang bintana. Diba? Ito usually ginagamit sa gubat. Okay? Ito yung mga light through the leaves. Kaya puro random. Kasi minsan, kunyari, war movie. Di ba parang fatigue? Yung mga figures dun sa pag naka-fatigue sila, yung mga uniform ng sundalo. Kunwari, nasa ilalim sila ng puno, or nandun sila behind the bushes, nag-aantay ng kalaban na may kasamang baril. Tapos yan, naka-camouflage sila, may mga dahon na nakakabit sa helmet nila. Ito ang pwede mong ilagay sa taas nila. Kung gusto mo sila dagdagan ng ilaw. Kasi ang weird naman, di ba? Kunyari night, ang weird naman kung solid yung light. Para mong binisto kung nasan sila nagtatago. Kagaya ng sinabi ko earlier, the light leads your attention to the subject. Pero kung yung subject mo kasi nagtatago, hindi naman yata maganda na sikatan mo siya ng ilaw dun sa tinataguan niyang bushes, di ba? So yan, ito ang gagamitin mo. Yan, itong light na to. Para kunwari may patsi-patsi ng ilaw. Kunyari, light through the leaves. Moonlight through the leaves ang drama niya. Yan. And then you've got reminder and care tips. I think this is the last slide for this presentation. You've got set up and lock. Yan, set up and lock the light stand before mounting the light head. So, anong ibig sabihin yan? Actually, hindi ako agree dito. Balik tayo dito sa ilaw. Pwede naman. I-lock nyo na to. I-lock nyo na yan. Pero kasi itong dalawa, hindi nyo malalock unless ilagay nyo yung head. Gets? Kung hindi niyo papalitan ng height, sige i-lock nyo na. So ipatong nyo na lang tong ilaw. Pero kasi, more often than not, itataas nyo yan. Ang weird naman, itataas ninyo yung light stand tapos doon nyo lalagyan ng light. So aakyat pa kayo ng silya or aakyat pa kayo ng ladder. Whereas, isuot nyo na dito yung light habang mababa. Tapos iakyat nyo na lang ng dahan-dahan tapos tsaka nyo i-lock. Okay? So yon. Yes, you can lock this. But after you put on the light, make sure to lock these two also. Okay? You lock it well. Kasi kung hindi sila nakalock ng mabuti, nandun ang ilaw sa taas, boom, babagsak yan. And then, tsaka siya matutumba. So, you don't want that to happen. Okay? Pero, kung hindi nyo papalitan yung level ng light, hindi i-lock nyo ng lahat. Okay? I-lock nyo ng lahat, pati yung nandito sa sa neck. Para siguradong hindi siya matutumba. And then, open barn doors before switching light on. Bakit? Kasi pag hindi ninyo binuksan yung barn doors, mabilis masyado uminit. Okay? So kung nakasara siya, tsaka nyo binuksan, Tapos yan, tsaka nyo lang bubuksan yung barn doors. Aside from aalog-alog siya, baka mainit na bigla yung barn doors kasi nakakulong siya dun eh. Okay? Ayaw nyo mapaso. So, buksan nyo na. Okay? Buksan nyo na. Buksan nyo na dun sa level na feeling nyo yun yung kailangan ninyo, ganun kalapad ang light. Call out lights before switching on. Bakit nyo sabihin? Bakit nyo kailangan warningan yung mga tao na, oh, lights! Para umalis sila sa harap ng light. Kasi nangyayari, minsan, well, accident nga, no? May mga sabog things yan. Okay? Minsan, magbubukas ka ng light, poof, ganon. Puputok na ilaw. Nangyari na yan sa amin dati, hindi namin ma-explain. Tapos may mga bubog na lumilipad. Nangyari yan, nandun lang naman kami sa office namin. Pero nung nangyari yan sa amin, as in, literally, bug. Tapos, yung bubog lumilipad papunta sa amin. So, yun. Safety lang. Sana walang tao sa harap ng light. So, in any eventuality na may aksidenteng mangyari, o di sige, sumabog ka, wala namang tao. Yung gano'n. Okay, ayaw nyo ng accidental. Look away from the bulb when switching on. Minsan kasi nakaka-damage siya ng ilaw kasi masyadong maliwanag. Make sure the neck and stand are always locked. O yun, kasama yan sa locking dito sa unang step. Always have presence of mind. Yes, presence of mind. Yung ilong ninyo, paganahin ninyo, baka may naamoy na kayong nasusunog. Tingin-tingin sa mga ilaw, baka may natutunaw na filter. The filters are not supposed to melt. Pero minsan kasi, may students na bumibili ng low quality filters sa labas. Kunwari, weekend, may shooting sila, sarado yung school, hindi na sila makadagdag ng filter. Bibili yan sa Quiapo or sa Carriedo. Tapos yung nabibili low quality. Tapos nasusunog. Natutunaw. May ganon. Okay? Wag na wag kayo gagamit ng cellophane. Merong grupo before, feeling, hindi nag-iisip ang init-init para makarami daw ng colors. Bumili ng cellophane sa National Bookstore. Ayan, sige. Salamat sa cellophane nila. Natunaw lahat. Tumulo sa sahig ng bahay, dumikit doon kasi yung plastic, pag dumikit sa surface, madali siyang lumamig. Tapos nakadikit na siya doon, syempre pinatay sila ng nanay nila, di ba? So yun, huwag kayo gumamit ng cellophane ever. Gagamit lang kayo ng gels and filters na talagang high quality para siguradong hindi sila natutunaw. Baka may amoy kuryente. Pag may amoy kuryente, tingnan nyo lahat. Tingnan nyo yung mga socket. Tingnan nyo kung baka may umuusok na cable. Kasi hindi nyo alam, makunat na pala yung cable. Tapos may naka-expose na part, tapos may umuusok dyan or nagsispark, ganon. Yun, presence of mind. Ito na yung mga sandbags or weights na sinasabi ko kanina. Yung itsura ng mga sandbags na yan, ganito. Ayan, ganyan. Actually, hindi ganyan. More like yung, pang ano naman to pang baril. For film, sige, shooting, film lighting, para mas specific. Ayan, usually ganito yan. May dalawang flaps. Tapos ito yung igaganon ninyo sa mga paa ng mga ilaw. Okay? Ayan o, lahat sila ganon. Tapos may hawakan. I-drape over nyo sila dun sa mga paa ng ilaw. So yun, switch off lights before moving. Kung iuurong ang ilaw, patayin nyo muna. Huwag nyo iwanang nakabukas tapos bubuhatin ninyo, ililipat ninyo. Huwag na kayong tamarin, switch lang naman ang katapat niyan. Patayin nyo na lang. Baka mapundi pa yon. Okay? Ayaw niyong mapundihan kayo ng ilaw. Especially kung pinahiram sa inyo yan, bagong palit. Alam ng equipment center yung life ng mga bulbs. So kung napundi ninyo yung ilaw sa oras na hindi pa siya dapat mapundi, kunyari masyado pang bago or 3 beses pa lang nagagamit, pundi na, papalitan niyo yan. Lahat ng nasisira sa equipment center, whether it may be bulbs or anything else or the equipment themselves, lahat yun binabayaran, pinapagawa or pinapalitan. Okay? Ayaw nyo gumastos. Ayan, meron dito nakalagay, very hot when used, be very careful, use gloves. Sinasabi ko kanina na masyadong mainit. So if there are any questions, please interrupt me. Otherwise, I will move on. Meron ditong YouTube video.
In this lesson of Frameforest Film School, we're going to show you how to use 3 simple lights to do it.
Ayan, ito. Ito yung example ng 3-point lighting. You've got here the subject. Okay? Dito, yung backlight niya, as described, is directly opposite the key light. Pwede yan. Pero what I usually do is nilalagay ko siya dito. Ito yung sinasabi ko, malapit pero sa likod, hindi kita ng camera. Ito yung camera. O, nakatago siya dyan. Or, ilalagay ko siya ng mas malapit pero mas mahina. Okay? Mga banda dito ko yun ilalagay or banda dito. Ayan, banda dito. Or kahit banda dito. Basta hindi kita nito. Ito ang fill light. Yung fill light, yes, pwedeng ganito. It's not wrong. Pero ako, nilalagay ko pa medyo sa side. At mas mahina. Okay, mas mahina. Kung ano yung mag-work para sa itsura nung nakikita ninyo sa frame. Okay?
A 3-point lighting setup. So if you want to light a headshot or maybe an interview, this is going to show you some of the basic lighting principles to make your shots look better. In 3-point lighting, there are 3 lights, a key light, a fill light, and a backlight. In this video, we will also show you some tips on adding more life to the background. Well, let's get started. Here we have our talent in front of a black background in the studio. We are going to start off by turning off our lights in the ceiling. Then we're going to turn on our first light, the key light. The key light is a 650-watt tungsten lamp with a diffusion gel to make the light softer. The key light is the strongest light in the setup and is our main light source. The key light is placed at the side of the camera in a 20 to 45 degree angle. The second light is our fill light. The fill light fills in darkness and shadows on the opposite side of the key light and gives much more even lighting. The fill light is normally only up to 50% as powerful as the key light. You can achieve this by using a less powerful light, move the light further away from the subject, or adding more diffusion gels to it. Here we turn our fill light on and off to demonstrate the effect. The last light in the 3-point lighting setup is the backlight. The backlight is placed behind the talent and creates a kind of halo effect around the edges of the subject. The backlight is separating our talent from the background and is highlighting the contours. Here we turn our backlight on and off to demonstrate the effect. So this is the 3 basic steps in creating 3-point lighting. But in addition to the 3 lights to light your subject, you can also light up the background to it to make the picture even better. So what we're going to do here is add a bright 2 kilowatt tungsten lamp with a colored gel on it to make a splash of color on our black background. So here you can see now we added a little bit of blue color behind her. By using the barn doors on the lamp, we can kind of shape it into a shaft of light, which is a cool effect. Changing the color and shape of the background light, you can create different moods for your scenes. And here we turn our background light on and off to show the improvement to the shot. Let's take a look at some before and after shots. So this was our talent with just a natural room light from the ceiling. And this is after. As you see, 3-point lighting creates much more depth in your shots and creates different moods. I hope you found this video helpful, and thanks for watching.
Yun. Yun yung example ng 3-point lighting. Ganda, no? Ang galing. So, sana maisipan nyo yan pag gagawin nyo na yung inyong non-fiction video. Kung meron kayong interviews na gagawin for your non-fiction video, which I think is your final project, kung gagawa kayo ng AVP, and kailangan nyo mag-interview ng tao, ayan, gamitin nyo lang to, yung formula ng 3-point lighting na to, para mas interesting ang inyong interviews. Okay? So next is this. This is a century stand. Okay. A century stand is an all-around stand. It's not only for lights. It can be used for mics. It can be used for the flags in the survival kit that I showed you. Yung may mga through the leaves at saka stripes na mukhang blinds. It can be used for that. In school, we mainly use the C-stand for the Kinoflow lights or the Diva lights. Yung Kinoflow at saka, Kinoflow is the brand, Diva lights is the parang model. It's a type of light that does not heat up. Hindi rin siya LED, hindi rin siya fluorescent. Basta it's super friendly, you can leave it on all day and it will never get hot. Pero, the intensity of the light from that light is much weaker than a redhead or a tungsten-based light. Now, why do we have to use the C-stand for that? Because it's really heavy. We cannot use the normal light stand kasi masyadong scary, baka matumba and then mababasag. So, yun. So, this is a C-stand, okay? Pero ang haba ng video na to. So, mamaya na yan. Ito. How to set up a red headlight muna tayo.
Welcome. Today we're going to be looking at how to set up red headlights. I'll be your host, Josiah Gray, and I'm going to walk you through all the steps. Let's get started. First of all, you want to make sure you've got everything. So what you'll need is a lighting stand.
Ay, sorry.
Light itself. Some diffusion paper. So first of all, get your lighting stand and unscrew the legs. Widen those out. Tighten them back up. Once you've done that, put it on the ground. Once you've done that, loosen the main pole. And bring it up to a good level. Grab the light. And put the light on. Right, once the light's on the stand, you want to get a shot bag. Put it on one of the legs.
Ayan. Sandbag.
Putting it on one of the legs ensures that it doesn't, get too wobbly or unsteady. Much harder than Occo. Now, on the light here, you've got barn doors. Open them up, and inside, you've got a light. Now, these barn doors, they allow you to manipulate the light so you can, cut it off. Get your diffusion paper. And that'll diffuse your light, much less harsh on the subject. Bring the light back around, loosen the main hole again. Tighten it off at a good height. Take the cord, plug it in, and for safety reasons, before you turn on the light on any sort of shooting environment or set, always call out striking and turn it on. That way, everyone on set knows that you're about to turn on the light. Another thing for safety reasons is that when you're using these things, make sure to have safety gloves because these things can get very hot. You don't want to burn your hands. Okay, so that should be it. Thanks heaps for watching, guys. Get out there and start lighting.
Okay, so sa kanila, imbis na call out lights, call out striking. Pero yun, yung mga sinasabi ko kanina about it being hot and the locks and stuff. Ayan, marunong na kayo magtayo ng redhead. Okay? Ideally kasi dinedemo ko to sa school. Pero since, wala namang naka-assign na classroom sa atin. Saan ko gagawin yan? Sa corridor. So, at saka since special class tayo, we're online nga. So, ang hirap. So, ayan. Tingnan nyo to. This next video is the Kinoflow Diva Light na sinasabi ko kanina. Unahin na natin to.
Next up is the Kinoflow Fluorescent Diva Light Kit, or just Kino.
Yung maleta na nakikita nyo ngayon sa harap nyo, we have exactly that. Actually, even the redheads, we have exactly that in school. Yung complete with a bag. Okay?
This kit has 2 Kino lights, 2 light stands, 2 Floziers for diffusion, and an extra set of bulbs for different color temperatures.
Oo, pero ito yung sinasabi kong scary light stand. Okay? So, imbis na yan, ginagamit talaga namin yung C-stand kanina. Because this stand is the same thing as the one that's being used for redheads. In terms of size and weight, ang laking gaan ng redhead compared to this. So, yun.
After you break out your stands, grab your light and attach at this elbow. Lock the light into place with this knob and change the angle of the light with this lever right here. Now, just carefully open the barn doors, run your electrical, strike the light, and you're good to go. To change the color of the bulbs in your Kino, first you need to pull up on the grill and egg crate tabs with this Velcro on the top. Next, press down on this red tab.
Do not do this. Okay? You ask the techs to do it if you need a change in bulb. Pero malamang gagawin nila, papalitan na lang nila yung ilaw ninyo. Kung may pundido at hindi kayo yung may kasalanan.
Tab right here at the top of the
Huwag nyo na i-attempt na galawin kasi baka mamaya sabihin pa na kasalanan mo yan, ginalaw mo yan eh. Huwag na. Okay? If you need a change. Pero let's watch this na rin so you know what to do in case you have your own set in the future or you're doing it yourself when you start working.
the bulb first in order to get the bulb out from the socket. Next, place your thumb on this metal hook right here, and out comes your Kino bulb. Grab your new bulb out of the case and align with the electrical here. Push the bulb into place and make sure it's secure. Now just replace your grill and egg crate. These lights also have a knob on the back in order to easily adjust intensity. It's like they thought of everything. The included Floziers can be thrown onto the light to add diffusion. And there you have it. Once finished with your shoot, let the light cool down first. Depending on how long you've used it, it could take up to 30.
Actually, yun nga, like I said earlier, hindi siya masyadong umiinit. So, pwede mo siyang akapin. Hindi ganun ka-bloody yung cooling. Yeah. Hindi nyo masyadong, wala. Paypayan nyo na lang. Pero, kaya siya mahal kasi hindi siya umiinit. Hindi kagaya ng fluorescent or ng tungsten lights. Kasi yung fluorescent, kahit na mas malamig siya, umiinit pa rin siya pag hinawakan mo eh. Mapapasok ka pa rin. Parang LED. Yun nga, di ba yung LED, kahit iwanan mong bukas dyan buong araw, hindi naman siya masyadong mainit. Warm na yung pinakamasama. Kung warm man. Pero otherwise, normal temperature.
30 minutes to cool down enough to safely
So, OA yung 30 minutes.
put away. Wrap your power cords neatly, and you must make sure no cords are in the way of any pinch points of the case closing. Return your equipment how you found it. At the end of the day, just treat our equipment with respect.
Okay.
Thanks everyone for watching. We hope to see you around ETV, but for now, happy filming.
And then we've got our C-stands, Century stands.
Much better and elevated in your setup, can make you work faster, can allow you to
So
do
forward
different
ko kasi
setups
22
and
minutes
make the
siya.
most of it.
Wala
That's
pa
the
naman siya
time, and that's
ginagawa.
easy to see why. Once you start a completed C-stand with a grip arm on it, take this all apart. I know I'm off frame. Have your center
Ayun, you can take it apart, pero malamang darating yan sa inyo, nakakabit na yung paa.
column, which is 1 1/8 inch on the base, which means that your base is 1 1/8 receptor. Not only do you have a base that you can set up for the center column, but you can get adapters for it. And just before I even throw in the rest of this, let me show you one of those adapters.
Note yung posisyon ng mga paa, nagsasnap yung mga yan. Snap into place. So, pansinin ninyo, kasi kung mali yung posisyon ng mga paa, baka mamaya kahit maganda yung stand na to, baka matumba pa rin sa inyo. So, make sure na para siyang Y. Okay? Para siyang Y.
This right here is a junior, which is 1 1/8 inch, to baby, which is 5/8. 5/8 is the size you see on the top of every light stand. And we're going to go into that on the top of this light stand, even the pin that goes into your arm. But you can drop this into your base, tighten it down, and then you basically have the lowest to the ground, most stable stand you'll ever see with a 5/8 post on it. So you can get this pretty much to the ground. And yes, there are floor stands, there are other stands that go really low, some that actually go to the ground, like that, but they're not as stable as this. If anything, they're basically like flat metal that happens to have a post on it, and it is what it is. But this will let you mount anything with a 5/8 socket on it, including flags and other things like that.
Ayun. Yung sinasabi niya, basically is, pag kinabit nyo tong adapter na to dyan sa baba, pwede na kayong magkabit ng ilaw. Or anything na may ganitong socket. Hindi ko, ano bang tawag sa kanya? Receptor? Hindi ko alam kung anong tawag sa kanya. Pero kung mapapansin ninyo, yung ganitong itsura, this is a standard sa lahat ng shooting lights. Okay? Even the light stand of the Redhead has something like this. Okay? Dito nyo ipapasok yung sa neck sa Redhead. Ganyan yung itsura nun.
So this is super useful, but it's also, an add-on, right? This is an adapter. You don't need
Wala tayo niyan sa school. Sinasabi ko na ngayon, wala tayo niyan. Huwag nyo sila hihingan yan kasi wala.
this, but junior to baby is basically what you're looking at
Add-on lang siya.
when you're talking about the sizes on these stands. So we're going to put this down on the ground. As you can see, each leg is at a different height. Yes, it lets you fold it down so that it's flat like I showed you before, but what that really lets you do is let you stack legs over each other, and we're going to go into that once we build the stand. So just stay with me. I know I keep on losing track, but there's just so much with C-stands, you're going to lose your mind.
Forward ko.
Okay, the knobs should be on the left. Get started, just think of it this way. Now this leg is taller than the rest of these. Everything that you want to concentrate is basically the tall leg. Check this out. So when you set up your C-stand, the first thing you want to do when you get that center column in, or just basically have this set up like this all the time when you get started, just think of it this way. You want to stand behind the stand, and you want that tall leg facing that way. You want to be like this. And when you're doing that, if my tall leg is going this way as I'm facing the stand, my little knobs should be on the left. Little knobs on the left basically control my tiers, right? And you always want to remember that when you're putting a C-stand up, or any stand really, you want to start with the top tier and then the second tier. You want to get it to a point where if I was to put it up here without touching the top tier and I can't reach it, I'm backs to the wall on that one. However, if I start with the top tier, and then if I needed some more height, I got the second tier right there, no problem. So that's just common knowledge, but I figured I would just touch on that really quickly. And you want to try not to always max out the height. Remember,
Forward ko.
Part, sure, but it's still long pieces of metal with some weight to them. But the advantage you get is you have arms and stability. So if we take our grip arm, which
Grip arm.
is actually two knuckles going on here. So the way you want to set this up, let me show you what this knuckle even is.
Alam ko meron tayo niyan.
All right, so the grip head itself actually has a lot going on. So let's zoom in and get a closer look. And right away, you have your 5/8 socket right here that will allow you to fit it to your 5/8 post on your C-stand, right? So your little knobs go on the left when you're facing the tall leg, remember? Now, this isn't just me saying this. There's a reason for that. We're gonna go into that once we put the arm on. But to put the arm on, we have to look at the actual grip head itself. So the grip head has a few sockets on it if you take a look at it, right? Whoop, let's put it in right there. Okay, so we have 5/8, which is the size of our post, right? So I can actually put it on here like that if I wanted to, and then use the socket here however I need to, but that's kind of dumb and backwards, but there are certain cases that you do that. However, 5/8 is also the size of the grip arm rod, so that's where you put your rod in for the actual arm. But aside from that, we also have 3/8 and we also have 1/4" sockets. So you can actually see that as you go around, there's different size sockets. They go from larger to smaller. What are the smaller ones for? Well, if this is for posts and arms as 5/8, the 3/8 and the 1/4 are for things like flags or things with smaller dowels.
Yun, flags dun sa survival kit.
Even umbrellas can be held inside of these things. But you'll see that things like flags, scrims, diffusers, and other things that are framed usually go into a smaller diameter socket, and they got you covered here on this grip arm. And there's even this little notch right here, and that notch is actually used for a few things. One of the things people use them for is running line through it, like fishing line, string, cabling, things like that. Or there are modifiers or frames that let you use these smaller size sockets, and then it has a little nub on the modifier itself that sticks in there and allows it to keep it more stable from pivoting, because it's usually like a large wind sail on a socket and it could twist and turn and do different things, but it's got you covered there. So that's basically a quick overview of what all this stuff is. Obviously, if something is still loose while you're tightening it down, you're using the wrong socket, and you should really take a look at what you're doing there. So let's zoom back out and let's go over like the fun part, which is
Forward ko.
there's articulating ones, all sorts like that. I've done videos on the articulating arms. You can check that out if you want to do a quick search. But a lot of people might call these like Hollywood arms or something like that, but they're basically just grip arms. There's a 5/8 rod, and that sounds familiar, doesn't it? Because we just talked about it. I'm going to go right into the 5/8 socket right on the grip arm. I'm going to tighten this down a little bit. And now look, I have my big knobs on my right, my little knobs on my left. And this is a baby pin, an E650 pin to be exact, or some people call them coffin nail, which is totally awesome. It's one of the coolest slang terms I've heard on set, but I haven't heard anyone say it in a long time. I think it's like an older type thing that's dying out there, no pun intended, but maybe we'll bring it back with this video. Remember, coffin nail. So what is this? This is a baby pin. E650 is the actual part number if you're looking for it. This is a 5/8 pin that goes into your 5/8 receptacle on or socket on your grip head, right? This also has a notch on it, so that when you tighten down your light, if it were to loosen at all, it'll get caught on the collars here. It also has a collar right here, which is 7/8, which means I can actually open this up and just slam it through. And when I slam it through, it can't fall out. And that's all safety measures, all right, guys? You want to make sure that everybody on your set is safe. You want to make sure that no lights fall. You want to make sure you don't break any of your gear or any of the people in your set, right? You don't want to be the photographer that hurt a bunch of people. Now, what else is this? Well, the problem is that a lot of people mount it to here. And while this is 5/8 and you have a 5/8 socket on your lights, this is not safe. It is a completely round dowel. It can spin. It can actually fall off if it's just a little hair loose on the light itself, the knob on the light, could fall off and hurt someone. But and some people even tell me that, oh, bro, you just take an angle grinder to it and you get the notch going. One, why are you going to permanently damage a C-stand for no reason? Two, why are you going to even play a game trying to figure out where to put that notch so it even fits correctly wherever the pin is, the knob on your light? And three, really, guys, it is invaluable to have a pin like this that not only doesn't cost a lot, I think these are like $8 US dollars, okay? Not only that, but you also are able to articulate the light way more. Let's get into that because this is where the little knobs on the left and the big knobs on the right come into play. So when I extend an arm and put a light on it, this is where things get super sketchy because you're literally putting the weight from the stand off the stand. And that means that while this is the stability point, now you've got weight hanging off. And we'll go into counterweights in a few minutes. Let's go into the most important part about hanging a light with an arm, and that is where your knobs are and where do you hang the light on the stand itself. So remember I said little knobs to the left, big knobs to the right. Well, if I have my big knobs to my right and I extend it this way, remember I'm putting it now, all the weight is over my tall leg. The tall leg is the most stable and it's going to be able to hold it. You're going to put a sandbag on that leg. I'll go over that in a second. I feel like there's always so much, but I'm telling you right now, once you get used to C-stands and the common practice or even comprehend the physics or just common sense of it being safe, it's second nature to you. You're not even going to think about it. I promise you, you're just going to be like, you're going to turn this into a transformer. It'll be nuts. Okay, so I'm hanging it over the tall leg, but I'm doing that with the big knobs on the right and the little knobs on the left, because if I put weight, let's say I have this light up here going this way and I tighten this down, if the weight is over here, it's spinning the knob to the right, righty-tighty. It's actually tightening the knuckle more and more instead of if I were to swing it incorrectly this way, tighten it down. If it was a little loose and there's a little bit of give, that actually worked out too well for me right now. But it'll give all the way and it'll just keep getting looser and looser because you're spinning the knob to the left. If you did it this way, you're doubling down on safety. And also, I think even if you were to check if it was tight on this side, you'd be surprised how dumb little things like vibration on set, stupid things like that, can actually affect how long something stays tight for. And every time you're putting heat into a situation, which is what we're doing on set, it gets a little warmer, it's like that. Things change. I know I'm making a big deal about this.
Forward.
Back here to counteract the weight over here. I hear that all the time. You know, you're not totally wrong.
Ayan, may sandbag na. Forward.
Slang term is pumpkin. But it's actually a counterweight. And what it does, it lets you have a little screw down clamp type situation onto a pretty good amount of weight in a small form factor. And you're able to actually clamp them to the legs themselves. And they
Yan, wala tayo niyan. Pero yun, counterweight siya. Usually naman kasi, yung nilalagay natin sa mga bar na ganito, meron tayo nitong bar na to. Pero yung kinakabit namin dyan, usually microphone, yun nga, mga flags. Hindi kami maglalagay ng Diva Light or ng Kinoflow Light dito. Hindi. Usually, dito yan sa taas. Sa taas mismo ng C-stand. Kasama nung receptacle na sinasabi niya. Na shook yung gaganon ninyo. In effect, para rin siyang light stand ng Redhead. Pero ito yung ginagamit namin para dun sa Diva Light. Hindi na namin ginagamit yung ibang arms pang Diva Light. Okay? Kasi nga masyadong mabigat yon. Yung mga arms usually sa school pang ano lang. Yan, para sa magagaan. Pang microphone, pang flags, or pang reflector, pang ano. Kasi tingnan nyo ha. Tingnan nyo. Kunyari yung flags. Pansinin ninyo. Tingnan nyo, ayan oh, may mga sabitan lahat. And itong mga sabitan na to ng flag, yan yung ipapasok ninyo sa butas. Yung sinasabi niya dito kanina, nagpakita siya ng maraming types of holes. Yan yung isasaksak ninyo dyan. Tapos, yun yung hihigpitan ninyo. Kaya siya may mga ganyan, may mga hawakan, no? Yun. And yung survival kit na to, may sariling reflectors din. Ayan, ito, white reflector. Alam niyo yan, yung, ayan, no? Tingnan nyo, lahat sila may hawakan. Sa microphones naman, yung minsan may neck ang microphones na magkakasya dyan. Pero kasi, or merong yung mga recorder, yung mga MP3 recorder, yung mga Zoom H4n or H8n, mga ganon. Minsan, yung kable maikli or yung reception ang pangit. Ginagawa ng mga students, yung lapel mic na nakabit dun sa ini-interview nila, yung Zoom recorder, nakakabit sa arm na to, tapos nakasituate mas malapit dun sa lapel receiver. So yung receiver ang nakakabit dito para hindi marinig yung shh. Minsan kasi may interference eh. Okay? Minsan may ganon. Or yung boom mic, minsan dito kinakabit. Okay? Although, meron din naman talagang boom stand na talagang pang mic naman talaga. Okay? So yeah.
They basically just stay there. These are great for things like roller stands, right? Where you can roll them around pretty easily, but you still need counterweight to keep them
Forward.
from here. This is really useful for a lot of side, however you want to put it. And then if I just give it a little open, I have the flat part, or you have don't forget, you have these sockets right here, right? Well, if I open up the sockets, I now have something with a little bit of teeth on it. You guys can't see that too well. There we go. I have something with a little bit of teeth on it, right? So both have a use case. Now let's say I'm doing something like a board, right? Brooklyn Reflector, foam board, right? White, maybe some silver, whatever you guys want to do. Well, if I open up this and I put it in the flat against the flat, and I just give it a little bit of tight, nothing crazy. You don't want to squash the board and damage it
O ayan, ito walang hawakan, plain board lang. Pwede rin ipitin nyo doon.
for no reason. You just need to hold it there a little bit. And then if I loosen this knuckle that's on the stand, I now have the ability to put this wherever I want. Look at this beauty light. Look how pretty I am. But you can put it as a vertical, so if you want to have a reflector from the side, however you want to put it. And once you have it set, you can tighten it down and then take out like an A-clamp and just boom, right there onto the arm itself, however you want to put it. It could be diagonal, whatever. You just are able to make it pretty stable for what it is for the time being, for what you need to shoot with it. Now let's say you're going, but Seth, what if I don't use the boards? What if I'm using a classical reflector with a spring in it? I got you covered. Remember those 5/8 sockets over here that I told you about? Remember I said they're kind of teethish? Well, they also allow for enough room for these springs. So if I just take this, I open it up and I put it in between the teeth and I just give it a little bit of a snug, right? Right? So it's in between the teeth and not in the flat part, but it's in the actual socket. Just a little tight, not crazy. And again, we're good to go. We have a reflector. We can put this wherever we want.
Parang wala tayo nung mga clamp. Mag-improvise na lang kayo. Kung hindi rin lang naman mainit, kung mga board rin lang at saka mga ganyan, pwede naman yung ipit ng damit. Seryoso. Okay? Basta hindi mainit. Wag mainit. Kung mainit, wag yung gagamitan ng ipit ng damit kasi masusunog.
Super useful. I mean, this is incredibly useful, especially if you're someone.
Butterfly clips na ubod ng laki. Maghanap kayo ng clips or pang clamp sa National Bookstore kahit pang papel. Pwede yun.
That works alone. You don't have someone hold a reflector for you. Or if you need something to stay constant, right? Boom, you're good to go. You have something that can.
Actually, yung ganitong itsura, yung parang ganon, meron yan sa parang sa pang jump start ng kotse. 'Di ba? Yung iniipit yung ganon sa baterya, tapos yung kabilang side, iniipit nyo dun sa kabilang side na battery. Merong parts nun para sa cable na yun eh, na yun nga, yung clamp na gumaganon. Pwede rin yun. Tingin kayo sa handyman.
Always stay stable right where you want it. If you're working like an event and doing a bunch of shots, you want a reflector in the same place all the time, you can have your reflector where you want it, your light where you want it, stay stable, everything stays in the same place, and the next person comes in, shoot, they're out, next person comes in, shoot, you're out, all sorts of stuff like that. So there's plenty of uses for all that kind of stuff. And then I think the last thing I'm going to show you guys is why they're so awesome for tight spaces. And that's because you can stack these bases on top of each other really, really easily. Let's show you what I'm talking about. So I put these here. Let's get rid of this sandbag. If I take these two stands right here, if I take the tallest leg, remember I kept saying keep your mind on the tall leg all the time. And if I just stick it over the lowest leg of the stand that's already on the ground, and I keep doing that, I'm able to stack a lot of stands in a row. And you may have even seen this in like movies or whatever, grip trucks. They have like 10, 20 stands on a small little cart because they can fit them all in place. But this doesn't just mean for storage. This means I can set a bunch of different lights to or whatever I need to wherever I gotta go, and in a tabletop type setup or something like that. Like you can get pretty tight. If this was normal stands, I would have a diagonal going like this and legs can't go over each other and you're like fighting for position there. This kind of allows for, let me show you guys, really nice stance. I'll do that one more time because I think I was out of frame. Tall leg over the short leg, tall leg over the short leg. Boom. More space in your studio, more space when you're setting up, and you're pretty.
Ayun, I guess yun na yun. Okay? Puro setup na lang ng ilaw para pang tago. So yun, that's it for today. That's it for today. Si Gian parang hindi na nakabalik. Do you have any questions, Carl?
None so far po, miss.
Okay. So, yung alam kong due today ay ang storyboard ng Chase. Sana makapag-submit kayo para hindi hindi ko alam kung nag-submit na kayo or hindi. Pero hindi pa kasi ako sumisilip doon. And then next week, due ang video ng Chase. Hindi yes.
Tanong ko lang sana, miss, kung pwede miss ihabol yung storyboard bukas. Kasi yung pinag-iisipan ko po kasi, miss, kung saan mag-shoot. Kasi, miss, nung last activity, originally dapat sa school, kaso ang daming tinanungan kami ni Gian na kung pwede tumulong. Tapos last minute, maayaw, tapos yung iba ayaw tumulong. Kaya napilitan po ako gumawa sa sa condo na lang ng friend ko. Kaya medyo nag-iba po yung setting ng video.
Okay. Wala akong problema tumanggap ng late. Kahit na ano, pwede ninyo ihabol. Okay, kahit na ano. Okay? Kaya nga tayo may deductions. Diba? Kaya tayo may deductions. Kung hindi ako tumatanggap ng late, ba't pa ako maglalagay ng deductions, diba? Pwedeng late. Yung concern ko lang kasi is, pag masyadong late ang mga bagay-bagay, baka nauubos na rin masyado yung grade. Okay? So, kung meron kayong hindi na-submit, and gusto nyong ihabol, welcome na welcome kayo na ihabol. Okay? Let's see what happens. Kasi kagaya ng pinakita ko kay Gian, nung siya naman ang nag-attend ng class nung minsan, pinakita ko sa kanya na yung points ang binabawasan ko, hindi yung percent. So, tingnan mo, pag binawas ko to, hindi naman malaki yan, di ba? Yung ganon. Pero syempre, pag masyado ng maraming araw, ang nawawala or ang late, mauubos at mauubos yun. Kaya nga, the earlier you give things, the better. Kagaya ngayon, ang due last week ay ang storyboard ng first exercise. Yung due, hindi, 2 weeks ago yon. Yung due last week, yung video ng first exercise. Ikaw, yung first exercise mo, hindi pa yung due last week. Bakit? Kasi ako yung may kasalanan, but late ko na check yung storyboard mo. So, kasalanan ko na hindi mo nasimulan agad. So, di ba parang may ilang days na, sige, hindi ko bibilangan yung days na to. So, hanggang ngayon, baka pwede yon. Hindi pa malaki yung bawas mo. Tapos nun, today yung due yung storyboard ng Chase. Pag binigay mo yan bukas, o ilang araw yon, 1 day. Di ba? So, hindi rin yun malaki. So, okay lang. Walang problema. Walang problema kahit late. Ihabol nyo yung may ihahabol nyo. Okay? Kasi mas gusto ko yun kesa isipin ninyo na ay malaki na, sige, wag na lang. Hindi, wag. Ihabol ninyo. Ihabol ninyo yung mahahabol ninyo hanggat kaya. Okay? Ano pang questions natin?
Yun lang po, miss. Yung late
Okay.
submission po.
Sige. Sige, ihabol mo yung kaya mong ihabulin, ha? Same with Gian. Go lang tayo ng go. Kasi ang objective natin, makausad na kayo. Makaalis na kayo sa MD video stage. Okay? So, yun. I will stop recording. And say, paano mo mag-stop recording? Ayan.